Right, I've had to turn the phone around to show you this. Now, this centre mount, what you've got to, I've put a mark there with a white marker pen. Let me just show you there. Now, this box, if you can see it, one end, this end here, is a little bit taller than this end. So this short end is where you push down, okay? Now what you've got to do is when you put these motors on here, you'll need these are 3x8 and you'll need a 2.5 for them. You've got to put a washer on, just follow the instructions. There's one at the bottom, two at the top. Now, the most important thing is these pinions. Do you remember? Now what you've got to do is push the actual pinion all the way down so you can just about do up the pinion onto the shaft. And then that way you see there's a bit of a gap in the middle so they're clear. So, and the other thing, so let me just say that again. So these pinions, you've got to push them all the way on so you can just about, well, you've got to use a 2mm for them, not a 2.5. So you can just about do them up like that onto the shaft. And that way you get that little gap in between. Now the other thing is, why I've marked that there with some paint and why I've marked the box there with some paint is because this motor has to be at this end, at the short end. See, it raises up there. This motor, because that is short and that connects to the push down, and then this black one connects to the push down. Okay, and the other end is your battery. So, but that motor goes on like that, so that you've got to mark the box there. So you've got to make sure that that short end there, because it goes up about 8mm there. You've got to make sure that you've got the right motor on this side. Don't put that on there and that on there, because you'll have to swap them around. All right, so I'm going to, now the other thing is, on my first box I had 10, 12 years ago, when you put the screws in here into the mount, what I do is under them 4 holes is I put a 1mm washer, and what it does, because that sits in there like that, and what it does, it raises it up 1mm. Now what it gives you is, when this rubber starts to wear a bit, you don't really notice because you've raised it up 1mm. So I wouldn't go more than 1mm, maybe 1.5. I wouldn't go any more because the rubber's going to stick out the box too much. Because don't think you're going to push it down. But 1mm's fine because I've done it on the last box and it was fine. So I'm going to do it again on this. So let me just tell you again. So when I put the screws through the bottom of the box, through there, into that mount, on each corner of that mount, I'm going to put a washer. So what that's going to do is raise that up a touch. So that rubber will be 1mm higher. It just, like I say, when it wears, you don't really notice because you've raised it up a bit. It's just a little trick I remember from my first box. All right.